Developed, tested, and perfected by me, Kel Kellogg. Turbo Flashers. Turbocharge your trout trolling today by going over to fishhuntshoot.com and picking up a set of my Turbo Flashers. You won't regret it. They'll help you catch more and bigger fish. They've done that for me, and they'll do that for you. Fish on the speed spoon, right there, right on that turn. Nice. That was fast. 2 minutes. 2 minutes trolling. Got one hit. One hit that didn't stick. And then this guy did stick. 10 feet deep. 2.8 miles an hour. Ooh, nice rainbow. Woo! Right there. Beautiful holdover rainbow. Nice. Speed spoons. Troll them, cast them, or jig them. If you want to get aggressive with trout, get a set of Kel Kellogg speed spoons and get your fish on. Available at the fishhuntshoot.com website. Howdy folks, Kel Kellogg here. I'm scrambling around today. I'm getting ready to go up into the high Sierras tomorrow. I'm gonna go trout fishing, and I'm going to a lake that I've never visited before. So this seemed like a really good time to talk about pre-trip preparation. And I have 3 rods here, and I also have a small little tackle box here. I don't think enough people spend enough time thinking about strategy, thinking about setup, thinking about stuff like that prior to leaving their houses when they go trout fishing. They hit the water and then they try to come up with a plan, and when you do that, you're kind of on the heels all day. You don't have a solid plan, you don't have a solid strategy, and you don't come out of the gate fishing with confidence. So let's take a look at what I'm set up with for tomorrow. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about the conditions. An ordinary, everyday fishing trip for trout, I'm gonna start out fast, I'm gonna start out aggressive, and then I'm gonna gradually slow down, and I'm gonna downsize, my lures to kind of match the temperament of the fish. But sometimes when you look around, you see the conditions, you can make an educated guess about what's gonna work, what's not gonna work. The lake I'm gonna fish is up around 6,000 feet, so it's gonna be cold. The water's gonna be cold. And we are coming off some very unstable weather. We had all that warm weather. Then we had Sierra snow. We've had a ton of rain here in the Sierras and the Sierra foothills. Over the past 3 days or so, we've had gusty wind. We've had thunder. We're gonna have stiff wind this afternoon. It's supposed to clear out, but we're continuing to get showers up here, and I can only imagine that it's gonna be worse up at 6,000 feet. I'm up at about 2,500 feet here, and I've got gusty wind, I've got rain, I've got thunder, I've got all that stuff. So, bottom line is we have unstable weather at a lake where the water temperature is likely to be, 50 degrees or less. And all that's telling me, I may be dealing with fish that aren't super aggressive. We've had this roller coaster with the barometer. The conditions have been all over the map, from sun to snow to wind to calm conditions. I'm supposed to have fairly calm weather tomorrow. But bottom line is, I'm not expecting the fish to be super aggressive, and I've kind of tailored my approach to that. Now, there are some very large trout at this lake. There are big browns, there's big rainbows, and there are some bonus cutthroats which get very, very large, up to 5-6 pounds from what I understand. So I need offerings that will trigger strikes from, somewhat lethargic fish, but I also need offerings that are going to appeal to big fish. So let's look at what I got here. Which rod do I want first? I want this one right here. Okay, this is going to be my trophy rod, so to speak. This is one of my yellow lead core rods. I've got this one set up for, quote unquote shallow fishing. I've got the 3 colors, and I've got about a 50 to 60 foot top shot. And you can see right there, I am already rigged up. I am rigged up with a Tui Chub pattern fly always a great bed in the high Sierras, no matter what lake you're at. It's got that black and olive over light coloration. It's just a killer high country bait fish imitation. That's going to be my big fish rod. I'm going to troll this. I'm going to start out in the morning anywhere from 1.5 all the way up to 2 miles an hour, and that should work well. I just need to find a fish that's active enough to go, and hopefully it's going to be a big fish. So that's one lead core rod. My other rod, right out of the box in the morning, and this is really no frills. I'm going to be running this rod right here out of my downrigger. I'm not going to be running it very deep, but I don't have any blades or anything like that on this rod. All I have is a trolling swivel right there with a bead so I can see where it's at. I've got some 12-pound fluorocarbon leader material, about 40 inches worth, and it comes down right there to a slow death hook. And I'm going to be running two different things on my slow death hook. I'm going to start out trolling with a threaded night crawler, but as the morning goes on, I want to experiment with my grubs. Now, I may take that slow death hook off. In fact, I likely will when I switch over to running grubs and put a more grub-friendly hook on. But I want to try the pink grubs, and I want to try the red grubs in the high country, because I think these are going to work very well. Whether I'm trolling the grubs or the worm, I could troll in that 1.5 to 2 mile an hour range very comfortably. So those two offerings are going to match up very well with my fly, and those are big fish offerings. You know, you've seen me catch a lot of big fish on worms here on the channel over the years, and we only need to look back to last September when I caught that big 4+ pound rainbow at Shasta on a grub teamed with a flasher. Now, on my third rod, I'm not going to start out with this one right out of the box, but this one here, this lead core rod as well, it is set up. This is my deep lead core rod. It's only got an 18-foot top shot, but this one is set up for trolling worms. You can see that slow death hook right there. But this leader, it's 12-pound test. It's a little bit shorter. It's about 24 inches, I guess, and it's coming off of one of my Pro Series fisheye dodgers. That's the 4-inch rainbow version. It's got the moon crackle tape and a big eye on the back, big eye on the front. But this one, I'm not going to start out fishing this one in the morning. This is for as the morning kind of goes on. If I want more action in the presentation, you know, more flash, more vibration, I'll get that 4-inch blade in the water. I expect it to work very well. Now, those are my initial offerings. That's what I'm starting out with. As the morning goes on, I'm going to take the temperature of the fish. I want to see, you know, how the fish are reacting to my lures. Am I spotting fish? Am I seeing surface activity? I have a pretty ideal area picked out. I'm going to launch into a cove that allows me to have access to the main tributary of the lake. So I'm going to work my way, you know, kind of upstream, just kind of see what the lake has to offer. If these initial offerings fail to produce, Trigger Spoon Juniors are definitely close at hand, and you know, you don't have to have a Trigger Spoon Junior, but I would have some kind of a small spoon, cripple lure, dick night, you know, whatever your cup of tea is. But I want to be able to run the flies, I want to be able to run the grubs, the worms, maybe throw in a trigger spoon, something like that. Of course, we'll have some flatfish, we'll have some mag lips, stuff like that. But I think my initial choices, the threaded worm, a large threaded worm, and that fly, I think they're going to pay dividends right away. And I don't know what the conditions have been at the lake. I know they've gotten some snow, but I suspect they've gotten some rain too. So I am going to have a spinning rod, actually going to have a couple spinning rods rigged up. One is going to be rigged up with a slip bobber that I can pin a worm underneath and cast it up towards any tributaries flowing into the main lake. And I'll have another one set up with some sort of casting spoon, whether I go with a Trigger Spoon Junior, one of my speed spoons, or you know, something else like a Castmaster, something like that. Just something that I can cast to any areas that have inflowing water, and you know, just kind of work a lure through the zone. Don't know if that presentation is going to pay off. I don't even know if there's any inflowing creeks up there, but there might be. It's been raining. I don't know. But I'm going to have a rod prepared and ready for the occasion, you know, in case I come around a point and there's a creek flowing in. I'm going to be able to grab that rod, shoot a cast up into that inflow, work it out, see if there's anything lurking up there. So that's how I'm setting up for my trip tomorrow. I just encourage you, whenever you're going fishing, look at the conditions, think about the lake, think about your knowledge base of the lake, or lack thereof in my case, since I've never been to this place before where I'm going. But just kind of take a broad view, and then apply that broad view of the conditions to your experience, kind of your set of, fishing encyclopedias you carry around in your mind, and set up a strategy. Set up an initial strategy, set up a secondary strategy, and set up a third strategy just in your mind, so when you get out on the water, you can go from one presentation to another, one area to another, kind of work through the gamut, figure out where the fish are, figure out what the fish want, and, adjust accordingly. Pre-trip preparation, that's what it's all about. Fish with a plan, fish with confidence, and you're going to be yelling, hook up, a whole bunch. I'm Cal Kellogg, I'm signing off. If you're looking for spoons or rods or flies or grubs or any of the other stuff you see me using here on the channel, go on over to fishhuntshoot.com and check out my store. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and you'll know whenever I'm on here blabbering about fishing, and I will catch you next time right here on YouTube. When you watch this video, I'm going to be out in the water paddling around somewhere trying to catch a big old trout. Anyway, you have a wonderful day, stay healthy, stay happy, and I will see you real soon right here on YouTube, guys. I'm Cal Kellogg. Thank you. The Trigger Spoon Jr. Small spoon, big results. Get on over to fishhuntshoot.com and get yours today, and you'll be yelling fish on tomorrow. Just like that, baby.